Hey y'all, tis I, and welcome back to The Artist Way, and welcome to week 4. We are now officially 1/3 of the way through. I don't know why I said that last time. I'm an advertising major. Cut me some slack. But let's get straight into it. Chapter or week 4 is called Recovering a Sense of Integrity. I'm gonna kind of work a little bit backwards for this one, so bear with me. The second section of this chapter is called Reading Deprivation. Basically, Cameron says to stop reading. And I know, it sounds crazy because isn't reading supposed to be good for you? Like, we're reading this book right now. Why would you say stop reading? And then I remembered that this book was published in 1992. And I don't know much about the internet in 1992, but I decided to interpret this or really apply it to modern day. And instead of reading, it's the internet, social media, etc. Basically, she's saying to get off the internet. Cameron goes on to say how we read or we go on the internet to distract us and sort of silence our inner voice. And honestly, with the way the world looks right now, that's pretty damn understandable, if I say so myself. For most Black creatives, reading is an addiction. We gobble the words of others rather than digest our own thoughts and feelings, rather than cook up something of our own. We spend all of our time doom scrolling because it's easier than actually facing the reality that's in front of us. In the case of artists, we're avoiding doing our work. It's that unfinished project, maybe something you haven't even started, haven't shown to anyone, haven't sought out any opportunities, and of course not pursuing your dreams, etc., etc. It is just so much easier to watch other people live their dream lives than actually put in the steps and work towards living your own dream life. It again goes back to that fear of being afraid of failure and success. It's too much pressure, and either way,
got to see it through, my boy.
The first section of this chapter is called Honest Changes. This part mostly talks about the morning pages and how we're supposed to use them and what they can do for us. The morning pages force us to get specific. Essentially, because of the nature of the morning pages, our feelings, desire, needs, etc. are sort of revealed to us, and that's pretty scary. It's weird because when you're writing, you're sort of writing down things you didn't mean to write, or you didn't even realize you were thinking about, because the morning pages are just continuous thought. Say you're writing about a problem, then you start writing about how you feel, and then you start writing about the deeper emotions under that, and then all of a sudden, you discover a solution in your writing, and you're writing down that solution. Sometimes it doesn't even feel like I'm the one that's actually writing, it just feels like my hand is being guided to write what's on the page, if that makes sense. And the morning pages also don't really let you minimize your feelings either. And then Cameron absolutely hits the nail on the head. The morning pages are superb for processing. Pages will point out the need for a course adjustment. We become aware of our drift and correct it. And both of these things are very true. It may be weird to say, but I feel like I've discovered a lot of myself through the morning pages. Like, obviously I know who I am, but I feel like the morning pages has helped made it more clear and overt. And thanks to the morning pages, we learn what we want and ultimately become willing to make the changes needed to get it. Accepting change is really the overarching theme of the book, but this chapter really confronts the idea of being adverse to change, sort of what change causes, and what it looks like despite the fact that we might not think that we're changing. She also talks about how your mind and your body sort of work together to tell you, hey, something is wrong, something needs to change here. For example, when you get that pit in your stomach when you're going to work or talking to someone that you know probably isn't good for you. She talks about how we shed our previous lives too, both physically and mentally. We basically shed this false persona on the morning pages, and then they slowly start to creep into real life too. One of the clearest signals that something healthy is afoot is the impulse to weed out, sort through, and discard old clothes, papers, and belongings. I found myself doing this not too long ago when I was moving out of my dorm. I was donating clothes, throwing stuff away that I was previously attached to, and it really felt good. Like, I felt like change was afoot. So when I read this quote, I was absolutely flabbergasted, to say the least. The rest of this chapter explains all of the reasons why you should use the morning pages and how you should use them. My biggest takeaway is to use them to guide yourself into your new era. You can't hide on paper, it reveals all the truths. It's quite literally your own intuition or your gut saying, hey, pay attention to me, and if it's in writing, it's probably best not to ignore it. My artist date this week took me all the way back to the days of the pandemic. Honestly, during the pandemic, I wasn't that adverse to staying inside. I barely left my house as is, but of course I was still bored. I was 15, 16. I felt uninspired. I didn't feel as creative as I used to. And I also didn't really like how endless my creativity was now that I had all this time at home. It was just very overwhelming for me. And then I found paint by numbers. And I was geeked. I would buy the huge ones and spend hours every single day for weeks working on them. And I loved it. It felt like a formula, but it was still creative. It was both easy and challenging. And it pretty much reignited my motivation to do anything, because I didn't really have that motivation at the time. So my artist date for this week is paint by numbers. Now obviously these are a lot smaller than the ones that I used to do, but I don't have much desk space, and I also want to hang these up in my apartment when I get back to campus. Also, I wanted to make sure that I actually finished these, because I would start so many and didn't finish any of them. Okay, hello. I'm about to start on the paint by numbers. I'm not gonna lie, I'm uploading this video in 2 days and I haven't started on them. Starting with this one, which it's like a comet kind of, honestly. This one is the easiest, and I have a headache, and I just want to get all of this done in one night. Watching Love Island while I do this, so I hope by the end of this episode, I'll be done with this. This one doesn't have that many numbers on it, so I'm pretty sure that this is gonna be like a piece of cake. Honestly, this is all I've gotten done. I'm literally just doing like the outline of it, because that whole section is the same color. So I'm just gonna do the outline side and outside the outlines, and then yeah. But I will say, this is like really, it's a lot harder than I thought it would be, because of the fact that like everything is smaller. So like the numbers are smaller and the lines are obviously smaller, but they're also like really light, so it's kind of hard to see them. This is where we are. I finished all of the first color and it's looking pretty good. It's a little patchy, but I figure we'll fix that later, because this paint does have to last through 4 different paintings. So break number 3, I think this is break number 3. I have finished 2 more numbers. I think we're gonna go over this brown again. I don't have that many numbers left to go, so I think we're doing good. And of course, I'll check in with you after the next break. I finished another entire color. I went back over it, and that was a pretty big section, so I definitely think that if I log in, I can be done with this by the end of tonight. This is how it's looking so far. The rest of that is just one color, so it'll be pretty easy. But I'm not gonna lie, I don't think I'm gonna finish this before this episode is over, because it's just so messy, and I'm literally like so logged into the episode more than I am to this painting. But I think just because this is all like one area, it's like mindless, so maybe I can complete it, but it's definitely gonna get done tonight, like within the next 30 minutes. But this, I'm sorry, I love Love Island now, like I'm obsessed. But I will check back in with you when the episode is over to see where we're at. Episode done. I did finish the painting within the episode. So here she is. She's cute, she's spacious, she's a comet, she's simple. She is a little patchy, so I may go over her again, but she's just so adorable. It looks cute from like far away, so I think that's all that matters. But artist date for this week complete. In conclusion, change is inevitable. It's going to happen no matter what, whether you like it or not. So you might as well just embrace it and take advantage of it. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, make sure to like, subscribe. Tell me what your favorite activity during the pandemic was. Okay, love you so much. Smooches. Bye.